Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 5 of the CG Sports Podcast. Today, once again, we're doing my NFL predictions, this time for week 4. I just want to say in advance, I'm sorry if this video came out a little later than expected. I was with family for most of the weekend, so I kind of had to work on short notice. But let's get right into it. So just to do a quick review of last week, we went 10-5-1 on last week's picks. Now, if you didn't actually watch the game, you're saying, why is there a 1 at the end? Well, I'll tell you why. The Bengals and Eagles last week, they tied. I mean, there's not too much to say. I wasn't right and I wasn't wrong. Joe Burrow had another phenomenal game. And, I mean, in overtime, the Eagles had 2 good shots to win the game, but they screwed up 2 times, including where they got a 5-yard penalty that took them out of field goal range, where they had the field goal to win the game. But it's in the past, so let's get right in with our Week 4 predictions. Starting off with the Thursday night game, we got the Broncos and the Jets. These two, just 2 winless teams facing off. I mean, Broncos lost last week to the Bucks. I mean, they really didn't stand a chance. I mean, with all their injuries on the defensive side of the ball, playing against the biggest powerhouse offense in all of football, they didn't really stand a chance. Same thing with the Jets. They're coming off a blowout loss to the Colts, which, for the record, included a pick 6 thrown in the first 15 seconds. The second I saw that, I knew the game was over. We still don't really know who's going to be starting at QB for the Broncos. I expect Brett Rypien to get the start, but Jeff Driscoll could still get it too, so we'll just have to see on that. And I would expect Melvin Gordon and Tim Patrick, the young tight ends, to have some good games. For the Jets, I expect same thing with Sam Darnold. He's going to play well, but even with the Broncos being hurt, as we all know from the Jets, Adam Gase is still their coach. And until he's not their coach anymore, I don't see them winning a game. Broncos win this one 27-16. All right, we're going to talk about our Sunday morning and afternoon games, starting with the Saints and the Lions. Saints coming off a closely contested loss to Green Bay last Sunday night. Lions won an absolute upset over D-Hop and the Cardinals. That was actually their first win of the season, so, good for them. Saints, once again, playing without Michael Thomas. He's been ruled out again this week, so I know you might be thinking the Saints still got it, but I think that the Lions are going to take full advantage. I think Kenny Golladay, Adrian Peterson, Matt Stafford, Marvin Jones, all those guys on the offense are going to have some good games. And I think it'll be a close game, but I think this is going to be my upset call for the week. Lions taking it 23-20 over the Saints. Next game, we got the Chargers and the Bucks. Chargers dropped a game to the Panthers last week, which I still don't get. I mean, they had no Christian McCaffrey, who is their all-pro running back, and they still managed to lose, so I don't know. The Bucks, as we said, beat out an injured Broncos team with ease, no problems there. Once again, just as they did last week, I think the Chargers are going to struggle on both sides of the ball this week. They're playing against, as we said, the most high-powered offense in football. And if you couldn't stop the Panthers without their star player, how are you going to stop a fully healthy Bucks offense? You're not. I'm expecting Tom Brady to pick apart that defense all night. I'd expect Chris Godwin to put in a couple touchdowns. I think he's going to be the big guy for them this week. Bucks going to take it 30-13. All right, next game we got the Jaguars and the Bengals. Jaguars took a loss last Thursday to the Dolphins. That game was quite boring. Not for nothing, but we'll get on with it. Bengals, as we said, tied against the Eagles last week, but I mean, even with that, Joe Burrow has got to look like the best quarterback to not get a win yet. I mean, he's looked sharp and efficient through the first 3 weeks. Haven't seen any issues with his mechanics or anything. He's looked good. It's just hasn't been able to put one in the win column yet. I expect the Jaguars, once again, to Gardner Minshew, have himself a good game, go to Keenan Cole a lot. I've actually been impressed with that guy. Keenan Cole, he's looked good. But I think they're going to get going this week, but I think this will be the week where Joe Burrow will get his first win. Expect another great day from Joe Burrow. Expect another good day from Tyler Boyd, Joe Mixon, all those guys on that Bengals offense. I think everything's going to be clicking this week, and I think the Jaguars are going to be the team to drop the game, and Joe Burrow will get his first one. Bengals going to take this one 27-10. Next up, we got the Minnesota Vikings and the Houston Texans. Vikings took a 1-point loss last week to Tennessee, where, they looked good. I know Kirk Cousins had 3 touchdowns that game, but he also had 2 picks. So they didn't close out the game, so they're still winless. Texans last week lost to the Steelers, and like the Vikings, they are also winless. Vikings still have a ton of injuries. Anthony Barr still out. Danielle Hunter still out. So big names out on that Minnesota defense. I think David Johnson's going to have himself a day. Will Fuller will have himself a day. I'd also watch for Deshaun Watson because, as you guys know, Anthony Barr and Danielle Hunter, those guys are good at QB pressure and holding that QB in the pocket. I look for Watson to roll out of the pocket and make some big plays using his legs rather than his arm, especially this week in particular. I think, once again, Vikings offense will play well, but I think their defense is going to cost them this game. And the Texans take their first win of the season, move up to 1-3, win it 24-20. Next game we got the Seahawks and the Dolphins. Seahawks took down the Cowboys last week and are now looking at 3-0. Dolphins, on the other hand, as we said, got their first win of the season, beating the Jaguars last Thursday. And this is one of those games. I'm just expecting absolute domination from Seattle. Not much needs to be said. It's Russell Wilson, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, Greg Olsen, Chris Carson. The Dolphins they have no answer for that. They have no answer for that offense. It's that simple. I think the Dolphins, Jordan Howard, Ryan Fitzpatrick, they'll put up a couple points, but they are not even going to come close. Seahawks are going to take this one 34-16 with an easy win. Next game we got the Browns and the Cowboys. Browns coming off an easy win against the Washington football team. Cowboys, as we said, dropped one to Seattle last week. They only lost by a touchdown too, which I was pretty surprised with. But I think this is going to be one of the best games of this week. If you want to watch an entertaining football game this week, I definitely recommend checking out this one. I definitely expect this game to be close, come down to maybe the final drive. Of course, Cowboys are slightly injured, but I just think they're all around a better team. Just like last week with the Browns, I think Nick Chubb will have another great game. We might see some from Odell. Baker might have himself a decent game, but I don't think they're going to have enough to keep up with Dallas. I think Dak, Zeke, Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, I think they're going to do enough to close out this game and get a win. So I got Dallas taking this one 30-24. Next game we got the Cardinals and the Panthers. The Cardinals actually dropped to the Lions last week in what I found to be quite an upset. And the Panthers, as we said, beat out the Chargers without Christian McCaffrey, which, once again, just a shocking win there. They still have guys, Teddy Bridgewater's still solid, Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, they're all solid guys, but I felt like the Panthers were just going to be hopeless without Christian McCaffrey. But we'll see. This will be a real proving point for them because obviously the Chargers were not the greatest team, but the Cardinals are a solid team. So if they can take one on Arizona this week, I think they'll really prove they got a chance to compete even without Christian McCaffrey. But despite the couple of injuries, the Panthers looked good last week, as we said. I think the Cardinals, though, are going to bounce back from their loss last week. I don't think they're happy about losing to a team like the Lions. I think D-Hop is going to go in, at least 2 touchdowns, maybe more, depending on how much attention he brings to himself. So we'll see. It all depends on how the Panthers game plan. I think he's putting up at least 2 TDs, though. Cardinals are going to take this one 21-13. Next game we got for this week, we got the Colts and the Bears. Colts coming off a 29-point win over the Jets. As we said, just an absolute blowout. Wasn't even close. And the Bears, on the other hand, they took a comeback win led by Nick Foles. Beat out Atlanta. So that was actually a really good game. I'd expect Nick Foles to get the start this week. He came in for Trubisky when he couldn't get it done. I don't think you could bench a guy after making a comeback win like that. But if they do, that might change the whole scenario. But I expect him to start. I think the Colts, once again, going to play a solid game. But simply, I think Nick Foles and the Bears, A-Rob, Tariq Cohen, all these guys, they're going to ride the momentum, and they're not going to be stopped. So I think Nick Foles is going to have another big day, throwing for 3 touchdowns, and the Bears are going to take this one 34-20. But of course, as I said, if Mitch Trubisky starts, I think this game could go completely differently. Next game we've got is the Ravens and the Washington football team. Ravens last week took a loss to the Chiefs in what I said last week was going to be the game of the year. As of right now, it was the best game, but we'll see how it holds up for the rest of the season. Washington, as we said, lost to Cleveland in a game where they were simply outmatched. I think they lost by 14 points, so yeah, they didn't even bring it close. But I expect this game, as we saw from other games, just absolute domination from Baltimore. I really don't see a way that Washington even keeps this game close, but Baltimore, of course, took a rough loss in a big primetime game, and I think they're for sure going to be looking to bounce back. I expect Lamar to get 4 touchdowns between passing and rushing. I think he's going to have himself a day, prove that this team is still elite, and I think the Ravens take it 37-20. Next game we got the Giants and the Rams. Giants last week lost a blowout to the Niners. I believe it was 38-6. I don't know. They lost by a lot. Rams lost a close game to the Bills. They only lost by 3 points. Rams looked good that game too. Their defense is really what screwed them up. They couldn't hold back that powerful Bills offense. But Giants, once again, playing without Saquon Barkley. I think the Rams are going to have no problem taking down the Giants. Expect maybe Aaron Donald 2 or 3 sacks this week, and then Jared Goff and Cooper Kupp are just going to have another field day with a weak defense. So no problems here. I think the Rams will be in and out. No problem. Rams are going to take this one 27-13. Next game we got the Patriots and the Chiefs. Patriots, of course, last week took down the Raiders with ease. Cam Newton looked great. And the Chiefs, as we said, won arguably the game of the year against the Ravens. So as of right now, this game has been set to be played on Tuesday because Cam Newton caught the coronavirus and they need to give him, I believe they said he got diagnosed with it on either Friday or Saturday. So they want to give him 2 days to quarantine and then get retested. And if he tests negative, he can play on Tuesday is when they're set to play. And yeah, so whenever this game happens, I expect the Chiefs to win with no problems. The Patriots, don't get me wrong, Cam Newton, he's made that team look good early, but they do not compare to the reigning Super Bowl champions. I don't even think I have to speak on this. Once again, Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, the same old guys. They're going to go in once again. Chiefs going to take this one 37-24. Next game we got the Bills and the Raiders. Bills, of course, won a nail-biter against the Rams, and Josh Allen is playing at MVP level. I'm putting it out there right now. Josh Allen through 3 weeks is my number 1 MVP candidate. Him and Russell Wilson, one of those guys got it right now. Raiders, as we said, lost to Cam Newton and the Pats last week, and I expect nothing different from Josh Allen this week. I wouldn't doubt he puts up 3 passing touchdowns or more this week. Maybe he brings one in with his legs. We'll see. I think Derek Carr and Josh Jacobs are going to play as they usually do. Don't get me wrong. That Raiders team looks good. Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs, Tyrell Williams, they all look really good right now. But the Bills are just on a whole nother level. So, as I said, Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs, another good game. Maybe they put up 3 touchdowns. But Bills going to take it 31-24. No problems there. Next game, we've got the Eagles and the 49ers. This is basically a battle of practice squads. This is 2 extremely injured teams facing off against each other. Although the Niners are hurt, they still are 2-1 because they played the Jets and Giants in back-to-back weeks. So, as an Eagles fan, I would love to see them win this game and, give us some hope, but I just don't see it. The Niners, even though they're hurt, they've at least proven they can put up points and play defense and close out games despite all their injuries. The Eagles just haven't really done that. They're still looking for their first win, and they've just struggled all around. They have their top 3 receivers all guaranteed out. Their backup tight end, 3 of their 5 starting O-linemen all out. I just don't see a way they win this game. I think it'll be closer than most people think, but overall, the Niners are just going to get the better of Philly on Sunday night. Niners taking this one 30-24. The final game we got this week, this is the Monday night game. We have the Falcons and the Packers. Packers, of course, won a huge Sunday night game against the Saints last week in prime time. Falcons took a loss to the Bears, gave up a comeback. They gave up I believe it was a 14-point lead, 17-point lead in the final 6 minutes of the game. I don't know how they do it so consistently, but if you're gonna put your bets on any game, I'd just let it be this one. So this one for sure is the one you're gonna want to bet on. Aaron Rodgers is red hot right now. He's proven he's still got gas left in the tank. He's another one looking at an MVP trophy this season if he keeps it up. Julio Jones is also not expected to play. So if he doesn't play, I think the Packers should win this one with ease. And even if he does play, I think the Packers defense is going to do enough to hold him out. I mean, he hasn't played for the last 2 weeks, so he's still questionable as of right now, but I don't expect him to play. Once again, as we've seen from previous weeks, look for Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones to have some more great games. And I expect the Packers to win this one 34-23. And that is going to do it for your Week 4 predictions. I don't know if you guys noticed, but the Titans game actually got completely canceled for this week, at least with the Chiefs and the Patriots. That game just got postponed a couple days, but the Titans game got full-on canceled this week. So, yeah, that one's a little rough, but so we'll see. I believe what they want to do is play that game on one of their bye weeks, or if they're not, they're going to do it after week 17. They'll have to play that game out. But yeah, so that's it for the Week 4 predictions. Tune in next week. We'll have Week 5 done. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.